Hey y'all, hey, it is me, it is your girl Nurse T, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Without further ado, let's just jump straight into the video. So for those of you who are new here, I am Nurse T, RN, BSN nurse, and I am board certified in medical surgical. My journey of nursing or in healthcare period started in 2006, and I became a registered nurse in 2015. So along this course of healthcare, my healthcare journey, it led me to where I'm at now, which is, to sum it up, I'm basically a nurse with experience in so many different areas. I work in a hospital as a float pool nurse. I also work in the community. I do some home health. I do some RN assessments, and just got my fingers in a little bit of this and that. But without further ado, as you can tell by the title of this video, 5 reasons why you should become a nurse. Well, whatever your 5 reasons are, go ahead and drop them down below why you think you want to become a nurse to my aspiring nurses. And for those of you who are nurses who are watching my channel, hey girl, hey guy, hey, let me know down below what are the reasons that you became a nurse and why are you still currently practice as a nurse. Without further ado, let's just jump straight in. Number 1, this may sound a little cliche to a lot of aspiring nurses out there or to nurses in general. The number 1 reasons why I chose to become a nurse is, number 1, I'm a compassionate person and I like making a difference in others' lives. So to elaborate on that a little further, they often say if you like what you do, you never worked a day in your life. So yes, your girl got bills, got to pay the bills. So yes, I do desire to be paid, but nursing is a profession that I find myself doing, whether I'm actually physically at work, whether I'm at home being a nurse, whether I'm out at church being a nurse, whether I'm at a grocery store being a nurse. My desire to help those who are in distress have just always been a thing to me. I remember going to church when I was younger, and when you would have the ladies that would pass out of church, I would run over there, hand them a Kleenex, try to fan them. I always had that fight or flight mode within me that made me jump into action when I sense trouble. So yes, the compassion to help others who are in distress, who are in need. I also just like making a difference in people's lives. I currently work in the hospital, so I work with a lot of very sick people. I work with sick people I take care of people who are facing terminal illness or just, going through things in life, with body changes, body image changes, or just being hit with, certain diagnoses, and just being there to provide them, a decent opportunity, decent care while they're in the hospital. Because oftentimes we do run into those who take on this role as a registered nurse who kind of sort of lack the desire to, be empathetic and have that therapeutic, vibe to them. But as for me, I am more of a person, and even though I'm not perfect Sally, but I am more of a person who likes to be there to comfort those. And there's no better way to comfort others than to be, knowledgeable enough to actually take care of them during the process of whatever it is that they may be going through. Number two, the second reason why I decided to become a nurse, the job stability. So we all know that, healthcare is basically something that we're going to always need. Doesn't matter how you look at it. People are constantly getting sick every day. People are being born every day, brought into the world every day. People are dying every day. There's always a need for nurses. The nurses that we have nurses that are retiring. So we definitely need nurses that's going to come in and fulfill that role. I'm sure you've heard it numerous times that there's a shortage of nurses. There's a shortage of nurses. So I definitely want to encourage those of you who are interested in becoming a nurse. Do your thing. Like, go out there, get your necessary education that's required. take your clinical course hours, whatever level of nursing you desire to be, whether it's a certified nurse assistant, whether it's a licensed vocational nurse, or LPN, LVN, whether it's a registered nurse with a 2-year degree, registered nurse with a 4-year degree, a master's degree nurse, a nurse practitioner, a doctorate prepared nurse practitioner, advanced practice nurse, whatever it may be, there is always a need in somewhere, in some form, in the healthcare field. There is a need for nurses. So for those of you who are still in doubt whether would nursing ever get old, would the profession ever be played out, there's always a need for nurses. They definitely have robots to replace a lot of things, but that human touch, we need more nurses. We need more nurses, and I know you see a lot of nurses that are leaving the bedside in a lot of these videos because the loads are getting very heavy and there is not enough nurses. Matter of fact, you see a lot of nurses out here becoming entrepreneurs, have left nursing, and now they're part of the social media trend. So at the end of the day, you still want to have that background in healthcare, especially if you desire to do so. So like I said, job stability is always going to be a reason as to why I chose to go into nursing. Okay, y'all, so jumping into number three, I'm going to say the competitive pay and the benefits. So a lot of people, I'm sure you watch a lot of TikToks, a lot of Instagram, you see these glow up videos with these nurses driving these Mercedes Benz, driving these BMWs, just basically having nice homes. Yes, the pay is pretty decent. Depends on what that is to each individual, what decent is to each individual. But there's an opportunity to where what they say you could secure a bag. Okay, so you either could secure a bag the hard way, or you could secure a bag with working smart, not hard. Depends on how you look at it. Having a background in nursing, you have that opportunity to embark upon a nice pay. I will actually say nurses, they get paid pretty comfortably, but again, it all depends on the individual. The only issue that you can run into is sometimes if you lived a certain lifestyle before transitioning and becoming a nurse, you desire certain things that you pretty much want in life, and once you reach your goal and actually become a nurse, you tend to begin to add more to your plate. So something that a pay rate that may seem like a nice increase to you, but later the more you add more stuff on your list, like you went from an apartment to a house, you went from a Corolla to a Benz, you went from no trips to trips, you went from the average Ross, Marshalls, whatever reasonable handbags, to now you're going to Neiman Marcus, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Balenciaga, Chanel, you name it. So depends on how you look at expenses. I mean, like I said, nursing in general can set you up to where the money can be made. I mean, especially after you've worked your 3 days, and if you're working in a hospital, for an example, and you're only obligated to work 3 days a week, anything after that is what they call time and a half. So you're making what you would normally make plus half of it. So technically, if a nurse is starting off, let's say that a registered nurse, if they start off as a new grad, they can start off at maybe $40 an hour. Just for an example, you're starting off at 40. If you work some time and a half, you'll get half of the 40, which is 20. So you get 20 plus 40, which is 60. So making $60 an hour to some of those who don't have major bills can be a nice piece of change. But you take that and you have an unlimited amount of overtime that some employers allow you to do. Some employees, they do have a cutoff, and they might say, okay, now you might be endangering others by working too many hours on the clock. But on average, most nurses, they tend to have a average full-time job, and then some nurses do pick up things on the side and basically have what's called like a little side hustle or maybe a part-time job. So just being able to basically get into nursing, there's definitely that competitive pay, and actually it only gets gravier, more and more great the longer you've become a nurse. I mean, the longer you've been a nurse, because then now you're paying more so for that nurse's experience as opposed to her just being a nurse. So with the experience, nurses that come in with 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience, 20 years of experience, especially if you know your worth, you can definitely negotiate a nice competitive pay rate. And then the benefits, you definitely have benefits for families, for the individual. You have your retirement plans that are set up, your 401ks, 403bs. Some employers offer these contribution plans where you don't have to put money in, but they'll put money in for you. And then they have the employees that match what you put in. So there's definitely a plus side compensation wise as to becoming a registered nurse or whatever form of nursing in the healthcare industry. Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and go to number 4. So number 4, I'm going to say career opportunities. So you have opportunities to work in whatever area of nursing, whether you want to be a staff nurse in the hospital and work, like I said, your typical 7 to 7 or your 4 10-hour shifts. Or if you want to, be a school nurse, there's that 8 to 5 or 7 to 3, whatever those hours may consist of. So you have staff nurse, school nurse, you have home health nursing. Like I told you before, you got home health for adults, you got home health for kids, you got infusion nurses that are out there doing like IV infusions in the home settings or with a company, that might go to different facilities to do that. You also have legal nursing, where working with a lawyer, reviewing some charts, because we all know what wasn't documented wasn't done. So we do have that aspect of nursing, legal nursing. Like I said, the chances, the opportunities are endless. So number 4, like I said, career opportunities. Okay, y'all, and last but not least, and like I said, there are numerous reasons why I became a nurse, but those are just my top 5. I have many more that I can elaborate on, but those are just this is going to be my 5th one, and this is kind of go hand in hand as to why I'm my role that I'm currently in now at the hospital. And that is number 5 is flexibility, basically flexibility of your schedules. So for nurses who are working like as staff nurses, meaning nurses who actually work on a unit, again, like I said before, you're usually only obligated to work 3 days a week, and that's if your hospital utilized the 12 hours per shift. Or of course, if they do 8 hours, then you'll be working the typical 5 days a week, which is why I try to avoid that 9 to 5, because I don't want to go 5 days a week. And if I'm gonna go 5 days a week, I'd rather be getting some overtime somewhere in those 5 days. So if I do 5 days a week now, it'll be 3 days of a regular shift, and then the other 2 days will be overtime days, which really makes a difference. But again, flexibility of schedules. You either can, if you want to just work on weekends and have weekdays off. Most couples or marriages, they tend to, if you're married to someone in the healthcare field and you want to avoid daycare expenses, sometimes one partner works the morning shifts, the other partner works the night shifts, so there's always some form of coverage. Or you might have a partner that works the day the front of the week, and then your other partner work the end of the week, and then therefore you can avoid daycare costs. And that's if we're speaking of parents that are both in the healthcare. Or if you're a single person and let's say you just want to work during the week and have the weekends off, you can have every weekend off. Or some people do their schedules to where they can work the front part of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then they'll have like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, which is 4 days. And then when they work the next week, they'll work the end of the week. So then they'll take Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and they'll work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you can definitely end up with like an 8-day off period without even taking off. So to some people, that's vacation every month, you know. But depends on how you do it. The bottom line is the flexibility of schedules. So there's always different positions in the hospital, different specialty areas that may facilitate and meet your requirements as to what kind of schedule you're looking for. Or you can go into, let's say, school nursing. If you want become a school nurse, you know, you can have like your weekends off, your holidays off, your summers off, or whatever is, you know, a part of that line with school nursing. If you do home health care, like I said, that's pretty, it's pretty standard these days, and it's not as stressful as the hospitals, I can tell you that. Is the pay the same? No, the pay is a bit different, but you do have a lot more opportunity to if I had to say, secure a bag in the hospital. Now you might secure the bag and it might come with some mental and physical stress disorders, but it's definitely there. And like I said, they're just, other form of nursing, paralegal nursing, you might can work from home. You have nurses that work dealing with insurance, case management, and they may work from home. So it's endless. Opportunities are endless. So again, those were my 5 reasons as to why I became a nurse, or why I'm still a nurse. But I want to hear from you. What are your 5 reasons as to why you want to become a nurse? Or if you're watching me and you are a nurse, what are the 5 reasons why you became a nurse and why you're still practicing as a nurse? And if you're practicing doing something different, please share down below. But as always, thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you know a friend that's probably interested in healthcare, interested in nursing, please send them my video. And thank you so much for watching.